Incredible morning. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings if you're watching the playback of this. All right, so we are going to talk about my first time at the Impressions Expo that I attended this past week. Went as what Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Atlantic. So I went to the Atlantic City one. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, I want to make sure that I share this out so that as many people as possible, those who have been asking all weekend, can't wait for the recap. So I'm going to share it out. So if you guys could just give me a moment, if you are watching the playback of this, you'll be able to skip ahead a little bit because this is a live broadcast. So I do have to share it out and kind of go to a couple of groups like that, share it out, share it on my page. So if you're watching any of my content that is live, do understand that it always kind of happens on the front end of videos. So if you kind of see it like it's a little bit extended, probably because of the sharing part. But don't go anywhere if you've gotten this far. If you're watching the playback of this, just kind of jump ahead a little bit. We are going to get into it talking about the Impressions Expo that I attended. My first thought, so I'm actually going to do a couple of different parts of this. I didn't even do my thumbnail for I have to go back in, do my thumbnail, but I'm actually going to do this in a couple different parts because I don't want this to be too long. So I'm going to talk about some talking points, and then some of those talking points are going to be more detailed videos in the near future. Okay. So hello, everyone. Welcome. Just give me a moment, like I said, to go ahead and get this shared out on Facebook, and we're going to get started. So while you guys are waiting for me to go ahead and share this, if you're watching it live, go ahead, drop your city and state. Let me know where you are watching from. If I missed you, you attended the Impressions Expo in Atlantic City. Maybe I missed you. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And let's go ahead and get this all shared out. And if you have any specific questions, post them now. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead, post your questions now before we get into it. Let's just kind of see like what are your thoughts and you're just thinking about the Impressions Expo. Also, better yet, scratch that. Let's back up. Do you even know what the Impressions Expo is? Let me know in the comments if you even know what the Impressions Expo is. Drop a 3 if you've ever heard of it. Drop a 6 if you don't know anything about it. Drop a 5 if you've ever been. So 3 if you've just heard about it, you've never attended. 6 if you know nothing about it. And drop a 5 if you have attended one of them in the past. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get our share on. Share more options, share to a group. All right, one more, actually 2 more, and then we're going to get started. Okay, and make sure that you guys also share it out. So I would appreciate that if you guys would hit the share button as well. All right, let's get into it. So let's see. I see we have some, let's say good morning to a few people. Hey, how you doing, everyone? Thank you guys so much for jumping on. What up? Hello. Thank you guys for dropping your city and state where you're watching from. Don't know anything about it. Okay. So don't know anything about it. Didn't know anything about it. So you have actually attended one. Which one did you attend? Incredible Morning. So you do know about it. You just have not attended one yet. All right, cool beans. Texas, there's one. I'm not sure how far you are from Fort Worth. I think that's where the next one is. Hold on. I think I'm saying, yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's Fort Worth is where the next one is. So if you're near there, I would strongly consider. Oh, you went to the one in Texas, Dallas, because okay. So you have heard about it, haven't attended, don't know anything about it. Hey, just say. So you know about it, haven't attended. Incredible Morning. I had the pleasure of meeting Shawnee D there. You've attended. Which one have you attended? So know about it. You've attended one. Which one for you? Incredible Morning. Let's see. Hello, Blank Spot. So you guys had a different experience. You got to go on a cruise. So some more. Okay, you know about it. I went to this one 2 years ago. You go to an expo in Charlotte every year. Okay. Let's see. So 6. All right. So you don't know anything about it. So you've heard about it. I've attended the Long Beach show for 10 years since it was ISS. Even went to a couple in Vegas back in the day too. So yeah, ISS and Impress. So there is still the ISS one in Vegas. It's different from when I was talking to others about it. That there are two. I guess it's two. I'm not sure if it's the same. Let's see. I'm not sure because I heard someone saying something about a Vegas, the one in Vegas. So I'm not sure if it's the same or not, but I heard someone saying about something in Vegas, but it's not on their list. Okay, so let's see. Hello. All right, so oh, okay. So that's a different show in Vegas, no longer the ISS Impression Show. All right, cool beans. I'm like, I know people talking about the one in Vegas. So I am Shakia, and I feel so low. I have no idea what's going on in my chair, but I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the amazing, which some of you guys got a little something from us at the show, of the Honesty Speaking brand of products. We carry sublimation paper, sublimation ink, pigment ink, and other accessories as well. Check that out on our website, shop.hsink365.com. That is also where you are going to find our classes, where we go. It's a little bit more structured and in detail classes. Over on 365 Creative Academy, you can enroll in classes directly from our HS Inc. website, or go to our learn.365creativeacademy.com website. You can go there as well. We are also the home of Silhouettes Anonymous, which is my platform where I have been teaching you guys Silhouette Studio for the past 8 years. I have to sneeze. Hold on. Excusez-moi. Oh, Jesus. There's another one coming. It's another one coming. Thank you guys so much for the likes over here. Go ahead, double tap that screen. Thank you guys so very much. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button over here as well as sharing it out. Thank you for the bless you. But Silhouettes Anonymous, we're having teach you guys to use and master Silhouette Studio, which is a graphic designing. I always say it's a gateway designing software if you're wanting to get into it, because you can use the software for free. You don't have to have a machine to use it. And there's so much that you can do with that software. So definitely check out our videos over 8 years. Who was it? It was, I can't remember exactly who it was, 'cause I talked to a couple different people. They looked at the one channel and he was like, you have over 600 videos. And I was like, yeah, and that's just the regular videos. That's not the live videos that I do all the time. And that's like, if you go to Sillaholics Anonymous, it's well over 1,500. So he's like, oh, you've been very busy. I'm like, yeah, I kind of love this whole YouTube thing. So there's a lot of content over there. I actually had someone, I was going through the notifications and I got a notification. Most times I do try to click on those notifications if it's something I need to respond to, or at least I try and like the comment. And there was a comment on a video from years ago. And I was like, oh, wow, you dug deep into the archives to find this video. So I thank you guys for continuing to support and watch our channel. And there's more channels coming. I understand some people have said, why not kind of leave it all in one, maybe do like different playlists and stuff like that. But from what I experienced this weekend, it is important for me to have that separation. So there are some additional channels coming, and I thank you for those who are very supportive here, and you like knowing where to find my content. But I also have to think about my growth and being at this expo and talking to people, and they're like, man, where have you been? Like, you are who we need in this. And for people to kind of say that to me lets me know that although I love what I do here, there is the whole new world that isn't checking for it. And the information and the education that I bring, they're not really checking for that on YouTube channels that are about silhouette, that are about the word crafting. Like, they're looking for information on a higher level. And if I want to attract those to my platform, so that I can fill in a gap that I saw was missing, I have to expand my reach. And although I love you guys, I'm still gonna, of course, do stuff over here, but I am going to put a lot of focus and attention to building up these additional YouTube channels that I'm gonna create, because the mission that, I've been talking about that, the mission, the vision, and just what I experienced and talking with others and getting their feedback. I really, really, really have to step outside of what is my comfort zone in the hobbyist world and really tap into something that's on those who are truly, truly looking to really grow. And I'm not saying that you guys aren't it's going to sound so weird. So I'm not going to say that you guys aren't professional or you're not trying to be businesses, but I did see a very, very, very big difference in the audience that was there and the one that I'm used to. And it was an amazing feeling. So there's some additional channels that are coming from me. So let's see. I saw something over here. Hello. Thank you guys for jumping on. Art department. Had the pleasure of meeting him. We actually even hung out. So I got to, I can't wait to tell y'all about the fun stuff. This one, I'm going to kind of keep it. I'm going to give you a little bit, idea of the fun stuff, I'm going to give you a little bit of the fun stuff. I'm going to keep it more to the industry side, but we're going to talk about the fun stuff as well. Okay. So yeah, let's see, where are we here? The Graphics Expo, April 27th through the 28th in Charlotte. Okay. Shoot, I remember when you were live on YouTube and other Facebook groups at once. I was like, how's she able to do that many lives at once? So I use StreamYard. I definitely use StreamYard for that, so I can go live to a bunch of different places at one time. All right, so I will say that I've heard of it quite a few times from other influencers within the craft, hobbyist, cricket, silhouette, sublimation space, right? This is why I first heard of it from a few years ago. I want to say, I'll be honest, one of the things that I think about all the time when it comes to impressions, I will say, is Silky Sock. And I remember seeing their big setup and stuff like that. And there's some other people within the industry. And that's how I kind of first heard about it. I'm like, okay, that's way in Long Beach. It'd be nice to kind of visit California. But I was just like, okay, I don't know if I want that to be the first time I go. So, but that's their biggest one. To my understanding, that is the biggest one. And the one where you really would need those 3 days to kind of navigate through it. I think the first big one that I'm going to attend is going to be the Printing United. Man, I looked at the layout and I'm glad this was my first one and not something like that, because just looking at the layout of that, I just feel like it's going to be overwhelming. But I have been bitten by the Expo bug. I no longer have mommy guilt about traveling, so I'm going to be going to a few more of these. So hopefully, I will see you guys there. But I had to go do a little bit of research. I will say everyone kind of talks about it, and I just thought Expo, Expo, Expo. My experience and in me going into it, I think that my thought process was a lot different, because the notes that I wrote down is probably things that most people wouldn't think about. There was some things to me that were underrepresented, and I did not understand why until I went to their website. And I will admit, as much of a researcher as I am, I think I've just been so excited about going to the expo. I would always look it up, look and see who's speaking, what exhibitors are there, who's speaking. I'm always, looking at the price and figure out the workshops and stuff. But I never actually clicked on that About Us tab, and I'm normally the researcher. But after I kind of walked in, I'm like, okay, wait, something has to give. Like, I'm missing something here. One, for me, why is sublimation not represented? Okay, I don't know if it's important because my husband's calling me. Shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay, it wasn't important. Okay. So like I said, there were some things that I felt like were underrepresented there. And I'm like, as far as like different industry things. And then there was one where I'm glad they were there, but I was like, man, they don't have like their own thing. I don't know. It, I went into straight professor mode during this, which is why there wasn't a lot of video content. I was trying to take it all in. Before, I will say, because I found out about it through a lot of influencers, I think the way some influencers have presented it, I think I had a misconception going into it. And although I did want to be able to network and take pictures, and it was people that came up to me, wanted to take pictures and stuff like that, being there was just totally different than what I've seen in videos and in certain influencer videos. So I was like, okay, let me go to their page. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about who Impressions is. Why is this thing such a big deal? Now, I'm not sure which came first. So they have, you just type in Impressions. There's two different sides to it. There's the Impressions magazine, and then there's the Impressions Expo. Impressions magazine, just to pause back up. What I'll say is, as I looked around at all of these different vendors there, and then there were some people that brought in really large machines. Who are these people? Who is this company? Why is it that these companies would spend that kind of money to ship these humongous machines? And some of them had three, four, five. Like, I mean, it's a lot, which means there had to be this whole logistics thing with getting all of that there. So my question to myself was, well, who in the hell is Impressions? Who are these folk? Like, to where like to spend this kind of money? Because I can only imagine how much the booth space was to rent it or to be at the show, and then the logistics of it. I mean, the amount of workers they have there. Some of them were giving away so much product, and I'm like them. So I can just imagine what that bill would be like. So who are these people? Why is it that there will like why was it important for them to be there was the question that I asked myself. So Impressions magazine was, I'll just read a kind of quick little snippet. It was a one-stop source for authoritative Impressions together provide business education and how-to instructions on the software and equipment needed to perform the four major processes that comprise today's digitally driven decorated apparel marketplace: screen printing, embroidery, heat applied graphics, and digital decorating. Now, this one's a little bit different than what the other one says. And heat applied applies to a lot of things, but when I looked at the Impressions Expo website, they pretty much say screen printing and embroidery. So I'm not sure if they know that Impressions, their impression side of their website doesn't mention heat applied graphics and digital decorating, which the digital decorating and the heat applied was in the forefront of this expo. So here at impressionsmag.com, we read useful techniques and trend articles, explore educational opportunities, link to suppliers, network with other apparel decorators, acquire product information, and more. Feel free to browse and come back often. And so it just says Impressions Magazine Online is an Emerald exposition publication, digital media production, the first issue of Impressions Magazine debuted in 1977. This was the first publication to truly give a voice to an industry that was defined by t-shirts, heat transfers, and retail beach shops. In those early issues, the founding publishers called for the formal organization of the imprinted sportswear market and dedicated the pages of its magazine to educating readers on techniques, trends, business issues related to putting embellishments on t-shirts. Impressions today, we refer to this multi-billion-dollar industry as the decorated apparel market. And while t-shirts remain the industry staple, the market encompasses any kind of decorated apparel or non-wearable promotional items. Impressions has earned its place as the industry's leading publications for more than 40 years by continually adapting its focus to best serve the savvy apparel decorator. Today, our brand includes the print magazine as well as our monthly digital edition and many other digital publications. These include the Impressions Product Guide, the Impressions Newsletter, our source book online, custom tech tips, digital newsletters, and more. Also, we sponsor the Impressions Expo, which is a series of face-to-face events for industry professionals that include a comprehensive educational program developed by editors of Impressions. Mouthful, I know, but I was like, okay, now I need, these are things that are going to be a part of my day, like a regular rotation within my reading is to be on trend, to know what's going on. So I was like, oh, okay, this is why they're here. We're talking 40 years in the game. All right, cool, get it. So when it came to the show, it just says Impressions features 3 live trade shows. Each event is held around the United States, is dedicated to the imprinted and decorated apparel industry. Impressions Expo is the voice. This word voice keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. If you are in my Foundations of Designing program and even in my Photoshop one, which I'm going to talk about voice tonight in the creative business program, this word is it keeps coming up. You know how they say, what's that thing like when something happens, like you keep seeing a number like repeated or whatever? The word voice keeps coming up, and I'm still exploring what that means. I've written it down on so many different places. So y'all going to see a lot of stuff with this word voice, but it's the voice of the industry and has been for over 40 years. Impressions Expos are inspiring interactive platforms showcasing the latest product and service innovations and trends from leading imprinted and decorated apparel brands. Impressions Expo attracts the most qualified. Your girl felt very, tell y'all, they had your girl feeling good. I was like, it's that word too qualified. Man, I can't. Tonight in creative business, I have to take a moment, y'all, because we're gonna have to discuss some things that can't be discussed on live. Where was I at? Attracts the most qualified industry attendees, buyers from all over the world. Impressions Expos are filled with top exhibitors ranging from apparel screen printing equipment, multi-head embroidery machines. Oh, okay, up here it says it. Direct to garment, DTG printing options, heat applied. Okay, no, there's more there. All right, so heat applied rhinestone designs, neon inks, performance stretch ink, sublimation equipment, and more. You'll see multi-head embroidery machines making 12 caps or more at a time. You will see many different types of utilization and techniques, such as rhinestone applications, which there was not, heat, well, at least I had this one, heat press applications, robot arm applications from a computer designer. Other examples you'll see as you walk around the Immense Impressions Expo show floors are the variations of foil applique, laser applied leathering, screen printing, team numbering systems. You'll see the latest blanks and colors, including t-shirts, hoodies, zipper color sweatshirts, embroidery ready, corporate apparel, super soft baby apparel, matching blankets, robes, slippers, backpacks, tote bags, aprons, every other apparel item that can be custom decorated. And this is one reason why I do want to attend the one in Texas this year, and then the one in Long Beach in January of 2024, because seeing this, I'm like, okay, well, where was that at? Because it wasn't at this one. Attend Impressions Expo to experience apparel, screen printing, and embroidery demonstrations at the show. So that was the part where it was like, for me, I'm like, it's really screen printing and embroidery at the show. Whether you are new or a veteran in the decorated apparel business, Impressions Expo has a highly recognized seminar and hands-on workshops through the has highly recognized seminars and hands-on workshops through the conference, constantly updated to keep up with the industry trends and topics to help you grow market share and I need somebody to go over this Impressions because it's messed up. You will learn from the top experts in the business about anything you're interested in, whether it be screen printing, embroidery, graphic design, Photoshop, applications for apparel, pricing, embroidering, internet marketing for t-shirts, digital artwork, the digital workings of the apparel business, and so much more. Seminars and workshops apply to all segments of the industry and are designed to foster professional growth on all levels. Impressions Expo is held in each region of the United States to allow opportunity for easy travel access for everyone in the country, Long Beach, Atlantic City, and Fort Worth in 2023, to allow anyone an opportunity to get to a city near them, stay ahead of the game and their competition, but your competition there too. So view Impressions Expo in action and see why it will grow your decorated apparel business. Mouthful, I know. So I said all that because I missed some of those. And one of the parts that stuck out to me is there was the screen printing and embroidery side of it. And that was very much so prevalent there. And as I've stated before, it's not that I'm not saying that DTF is not a viable way to do business. Transfers in general, like literally transfers in general, is taking the industry by storm. And a lot of what was there was really just indicative of that. And it's showing you that transfers are the way to go. It's how I saw it was, and it's going to probably give you guys a different perspective because we are an industry, meaning, which I'm going to use this word, crafters, hobbyists, right? Creatives. We are an industry that likes to hold on to control and feel like, oh, well, I'm a creative. I can DIY it myself. Like I can DIY it, meaning do it yourself. This is something that we foster. We, going into this for business, we just think that, hey, I can do this myself, rather than really understand each part of it and make sure that it's going to be something that's going to be viable. It's like we see it, okay, well, how can I do this myself? And I feel like what I really, really got from this, and this is something that's been a long time coming, is releasing control of some shit. just releasing controllers-ish and embracing the transfer world. What was just really, really, I'm not sure if, I'm not going to get into it. Just know that Stalls Transfer Express, I'm not sure if it's like fully out. I wasn't sure. They said we couldn't take pictures, but I wasn't quite sure if we could talk about it until they released certain things. But day one, Stalls had kind of like this after party type deal, and they unveiled a lot within the transfer industry. OM to the G. I posed a question to you on my Facebook yesterday, and you guys can answer now. When you think about all of the different transfer methods, what is something that is not really represented as far as being able to go to a company, submit your designs, and be able to get a transfer where all you have to do is press on demand? There is one area to me that is lacking in that space, and Stalls is about to fill that gap. Oh my gosh. So not sure when that all that stuff will come out, but once they officially talk about it, because I'm not, like an influencer for them, but once I do see that they talk about it, I'm gonna go back. I wrote down all my notes of everything that they showed and my thought process about everything they showed, how it's going to change the game. I can't wait to talk about my thought process on everything that they're about to release. But transfers it's just, it's going to sound very harsh to some people, but leave it to the professionals. Even with DTF, so many people jumped into it. And I know it's this whole thing of, okay, yeah, crafters started it, right? It was this converting of printers to get and to do the whole DTF thing. This was on a smaller level. Now that the big boys have gotten their hands on it, I have said this before that I feel like it's going to make it a little bit harder for the smaller companies on a bigger scale. I really feel like it's going to end up really niching you down to a certain type of consumer for DTF transfers on a smaller level, because these bigger companies are getting into it, and because, for lack of better expression, they have the money to throw at it. Like, they have the money to do it in certain ways because they already have certain machines in place. They just can do it at a much higher scale, which means that they can provide it at a better price point. So I will say I am a bit concerned for those who do DTF transfers, and I'm never trying to discourage anyone from doing it. I just want you guys to make sure before you invest in a lot of these basically Epson printhead transformer machines, that you really understand the market and make sure that you have an audience where it's going to be sustainable for you. Because with the bigger companies getting into this, it does make it a little bit harder for those who are coming up. There is a place for those who are smaller, but you have to be fully aware of it. And the press on demand and the transfer industry it's about to hit a new level because of a lot of the technology that's out there from these larger companies. There was one, and you guys will get to see everything that I got. I didn't bring it with me because it's just still packed up. But there was this one process with this machine that I was told was upwards of $400,000. But I know why. I mean, you look at it in action, you see why. But it's like, if someone's able to do that, and it's man. But anywho, just know that transfers is going to really be, it's really big. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger within this industry as far as custom decorated apparel. So let's see. Let me go back up here real quick. Let's see. I was told by one of the exhibitors that the badge scanner that uses scan your badge while you're talking to badge software equipment costs $500 just for them to use for the show. Wow. We're going to go through some things that you should know when you are when you're going through it. She says, yes, come out to Texas. That's my daughter's birthday weekend, but I'll attend during the week. Yeah, so it's really, so you only miss like Saturday. And Saturday is the shortest day because it was over at 3 instead of 5. So it is Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, no, Wednesday. We got there on Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. You don't have to give up your whole Sunday. Finally getting to see you live. Well, hello, Monique. So someone says rhinestones. I mean, yeah, I guess, but no, Stalls has rhinestones though. Stalls offers rhinestone transfers for you just to order, print, and press. I mean, order and press. So yeah. All right. Let's back up a little bit here. Things that you should know if you are considering going to any of these. There are expos, because I was just looking at one, and when you register, you immediately have to pay. Like, there is no early bird type deal to it for most of them that I saw. Impressions show you'll be able to register, and I forget the dates. Hold on. So let's see. So you have, so the Smart Saver, it's the showroom access only. So as someone who's, of course, not trying to exhibit, you don't get access to the workshops and things like that, but just to attend the showroom floor. And there's still things to learn because the Ink Kitchen hosts what's called Shop Talk. And that is on the showroom floor with some really, I mean, it was some great discussions up there. Not like little fluff stuff. I mean, they had some amazing discussions up there. So you still get some of the education and get to hear some, get to hear from some speakers. It's free up until July 11th. Go to the website and register. Don't wait until, and trying to figure out your fly, your hotel. Go to the site and just register. All you have to do is register. With registering, though, do not use your email. That is like your real business one. And I have said this before too, like how I didn't even think about it when I gave my email. I went as a guest to Alexis Galloway from Soul Speed Academy. She spoke about starting and growing your embroidery business and things you should know about that. And so when she asked me for my email, I'm like, I'm just so programmed to say the professor at hsinc365.com. Man, oh man, oh man, I wish I would not have. I wish I would have created one specifically for this. And I probably am going to create one because I'm going to register for Texas. And well, I'm hoping that there's something I can do at Texas, but I'm going to register for that one and another one. So use a different email address. I've told you guys before, don't email me on silaholics@gmail. Yes, I've had that for a long time. Y'all are used to seeing that. And I'm trying to make sure it's changed everywhere. But with the Silaholics Anonymous one, I now have so much marketing emails that come to it. It's ridiculous. So I don't use it. I probably should have put that on there, but I want it, of course, to be HSE. So I'm going to create a email address that's anytime I go somewhere and I have to sign up for rewards or put it on someone's site to get their email, something like Expos, I'm going to use that email. So one of my first recommendations to anybody that's considering going to any type of trade show, expo show, trade show or expo, conference, create yourself an email that is specifically for that. Because once you register, you get this little badge, and as you're going to the different booths, you go and they scan it. And when they scan it, it's basically getting your information, and they're going to hit you up after the show at some point. So your email could really end up being bombarded with a lot of marketing things, or just saying, hey, thank you for my booth. You can always opt out. So register early, but register with a some people call it a dummy email, but just register with a like I like to call a email marketing email, like the one that's specific for that. If you don't have one, create one. All right. So those are the two things. Email marketing, specific email address, register early, especially if you look up any expo and they have something where you can register early and attend their expo floor for free. definitely do that. So for Texas, you have until July 11th to register for to go to the showroom floor for free. From the 12th through August 9th, you would pay $25. From August 10th through August 30th, it will be 36. And anything after August 31st until the show, it's 45. So if you don't register early, when you get there, you're gonna have to pay 45. Well, in order for you to register, you're gonna have to pay $45. Now that is just like I said, the showroom floor. Then you have different seminars. I guess they try to put the list out early enough, because if you just do one seminar, it's 60. By the time you got to day of, it was $90. You can go to a single workshop. If you want to do basically the full conference, which is access to all of the seminars and the exhibit hall, even like if you register right now, it's $220. By the time you get close to the show, it's $320. If you do a full seminar package, it is all the seminars and does not include any workshops. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between these two. I don't know. I really don't see the difference between those because it says the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry. The full conference package is all workshops and all individual seminars. So that's the full conference package. Full seminar is just seminars. Full workshop is just the workshops, no seminars. So that's still not bad. You literally will have access to everything for $220 if you register now and you want all of that. If you register for the free access, and then once you kind of see all of the speakers or workshops and you decide that you want to do that, it is $320. Still, to me, an amazing price. $320 to attend it. There's some where it's less than what you get here. I will say that it is not a situation. I went to one before as an event planner, and I've gone to some of those. And let's say in one room, it's a speaker and they're talking on a specific topic. They don't change the topic up, but they have different time frames in which they do it. So they may go and have a 12 o'clock time or a 10 a.m. Then they may have a 1, and then they may have like a 3, like however it's spread out. That gives you an opportunity to be able to visit the different speakers at different times. One of the things that I did not care for was the fact that they all ran at the same time. There were a lot of them that I would have loved to be able to sit in on. And that was one of the things where I did not decide to even do the full conference package. When I was kind of looking at it, was there was no way to catch up on it. And then when I got there, I did ask, well, hey, are these recorded? Y'all know how I am about a good, y'all have lifetime access to the recordings of anything you pay for from me. So I was asking, was there recordings of them to where if you missed it, you're able to go back and watch, another presentation? And they said no. So they did come in, they take pictures. And I guess like in Long Beach, they did more of like, I guess, recording the sessions, but in this one, they did not. And there were a lot of great ones there. But if the presenter has any sort of slides, excuse me, you do get access to the slides. And you even get access to them beforehand, because inside the Lexus one, I saw someone that already had everything printed out. And so they're flipping through the slides with her. So you get access to that. And then afterwards, you get access to all of the speakers' slides. But it's still different, when you're in the moment. If they're asking, you don't get access to any questions that were asked and answered. So that was one of the things that it was a little taken aback by, was that there was no, because if you're paying for the full conference package, to only be able to attend a few of them when you have all of these amazing sessions and not be able to get a playback of it is kind of like, I don't know about all that. So that's one of the things. Do understand that there's no recording. So if you decide to do the full conference package, the most that you'll get are the slides for it, and not recordings for anything that you missed. And they don't do it to where it is multiple times throughout the day. It's that one time, and then that's it. So that, be prepared for that as far as workshops and seminars. Okay. The other thing was, hold on, and I forgot my notebook this morning. I'm trying to remember everything. So yeah, I talked about the registration and then the cost of it, the full expo. I think that's it. All right. So as far as that part, when you come in, be prepared to leave out with a lot. If you're kind of coming there and you want to get a lot of stuff 2 days in a row, my arm was hurting with the amount of like booklets and ooh, there we go. The amount of booklets and cards and information. They give you this little bag, and then the lady was like, "You want one? Have another." It's like if you lose this one, guess what? You're gonna get the same one at the next show. And Alexis actually says, she's like, "Girl, I got so many of these." She said it's the same, like she said, it literally is the same bag from I think when she went like 2 years ago, something like that. So it's like Lane 7 sponsors them. It's this little bag. It's really cool because you can hold it, but it's also a backpack. I thought it was really, really cool. Actually end up putting my laptop in it to be able to go on the airplane. Because it made it a lot easier to walk through the airport with the book bag went on versus my shoulder strap. So you'll get that. And this time, I'm not sure if at any other show there are more vendors. So a vendor and an exhibitor are two different things. So Comfort Colors, and there was a thing called Ice Cream Shop. Some of you guys saw it on my live when they didn't mind if I kind of put them on live, and they were outside of the showroom floor and they were pressing shirts just there. That was the only vendor that I really saw there. I'm not sure if the other ones have more vendors that are doing different things on the outside of the showroom floor. That's for purchase. So if you have something, look into becoming a vendor. One of the things that was interesting is you don't have to have any specific requirements. You don't have to be a part of like a major company to be a speaker. They actually send out an email. I believe that's how Alexis kind of got into it. And someone's actually sending a screenshot and it says open registration for speakers. So if you are an industry expert or if you have something that you want to be able to share, don't hesitate to go over to their website and see about becoming a speaker. That's a way to be able to go to the show for free. You go in as a speaker and you get access to the rest of the show. You don't get access to any of the other seminars, but you do get access to the expo, and you're able to share your knowledge and extend your customer base. And if you are someone that does any type of instructional things, things like that. So she says, unfortunately, that's my issue with conferences. Can't attend them all. Exactly. Someone says, I go to the one in Texas every year. I love it. I get ideas and see the newest equipment and trends. Thank you, love. All right. Let me see. Did I miss anything over here? It just keeps saying like lights and stuff. The Graphics Pro Expo is just as big. The Expo is also free. Just register early enough. So someone says the GPX Graphics Pro Expo does have a period of free registration. And that's another one that's really big. Let's see. So hello, someone said agree. I'm missing all these. Okay, well, there we go. You deserve it and more. Can you do it in the student union as well? Oh, that's still kind of public. I was at the Long Beach, California one. I encourage everyone to go at least once if they are serious. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to think. I think that's kind of like all of the prep stuff. Yeah. So that's the things that you should kind of know. Now, walking onto the floor, it was a bit overwhelming, right? Like you walk in and I mean, immediately like the booths are right there in front. There is no cord. They're in your face. I mean, it was. And when we walked in, one of the first ones was an embroidery machine. So you literally see this embroidery machine coming at you, just going tat, 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 tat. Then Stalls was to this side. We had Alpha Broda, and so it was. That's burned in my head, like those three right there in the front. I was able to also, find out from some folks, because I don't know if we technically crashed or is it kind of like a open to everyone type deal. But I did have the pleasure of running into and meeting and actually having some very, very detailed conversations with Stan Banks of T-Shirt Side Hustle, Decorated by Nature, and Marathon Supplies. Definitely go check them out. This is not a sponsored video, but definitely go check out his YouTube channel and then his website, Marathon Supplies, because he, something he just launched. A lot of great stuff over there. But after one of his ink kitchens, kind of went over there to say hi, and it just turned into, it snowballed into a thing where we literally hung out with Stan all weekend long. And so that's how I found out about the stalls situation, but that was really open to anyone. I'm not sure if they announced it at their booth or something, but really anyone could have gone there, and they just kind of showed some stuff. And then we went to M&R, which I cannot wait to show you guys the footage of this humongous machine. So they are really, really big in like screen printing and technology and like all these different things. And we went to their kind of like after party. And that is where I realized there's a much bigger world for the professor outside of the crafting industry. Just being able, I love y'all. Don't get me wrong. I love y'all. I promise you I do. I truly, truly, truly love each and every one of you guys who support me. But being able to talk with folk that understand me about colors or, just like truly understanding advantages and disadvantages of different things, understanding about like color profiles, and where I can really talk shop. I was in heaven. I love being an educator. Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job. I would not do anything hobby ever. It was great to be able to talk about stuff and not have to explain it, but just talk about it. And then for there to be like, for people to say, well, who are you? Where have you been? Like, wait, my QR code didn't work. I was a little upset, but it's like, wait, like you're in this industry. Where have you been? So to hear not one, not two, but quite a few people say like, how come I have not run across your content? Because your ish was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Woo! It was, the whole thing I said about how I feel about eco tanks. So for someone to come and say, why do people even use eco tanks? I was like, I'll be trying to tell them. And for them, it's like as crafters and stuff like that. And he's like, that was the only experience, like, and going to YouTube, and it's more so like just influencers and people like within the craft world, like, and so them saying eco tank. I said, it's just because it's easy. He was like, yeah, him and his wife was like, that was the worst thing ever, and that's why they have a bad taste about sublimation because of this printing. He's like, man, I'm too much of when it comes to color, stuff wasn't coming out right. I don't know why people recommend this. And I just smile from ear to ear. And I'm like, because I said, this is literally what I say in almost every single video. I try not to discourage people because it's cost effective, but it's just not. I'll be honest with you guys, so much so to where I'm like, I understand that you guys you want to get into sublimation. But if I'm being completely honest, in that moment and in having that conversation, I almost felt like a hypocrite because I do sell a product for it because, this is the industry that I'm in. My audience, you guys are looking for this. You're new to this. You're looking for cost-effective ways to get into this. And you end up having to do a third party because, Epson is a great company because I do like water-based. But for anything bigger than 8.5 by 11, you jump all the way up to over $2,000. And that just doesn't fit the budget for a lot of people. So the converted route is more cost effective, but it's just not, it can be to where, like, especially with these EcoSync printers, it's really hard to get accurate colors, So in that moment and having that conversation, I'm like, I sell a product. I almost felt like a hypocrite. I'm not going to lie. Like, the paper does what it does. It doesn't matter which printer you put it in, but on the ink side, I did feel some type of way. That's just me being very honest. But there is no 13-inch option outside of Sawgrass, and I'm just not a fan of gel-based inks. So it's like, you know, um, but it is like someone said, if you're serious, I will tell you, going into it, looking at everything that's there, for someone who is a crafter, you are someone who does this and you're turning your hobbies, you're turning your passion to profit, however you want to say it. Looking at those machines, and when they talk about the price point of it, it can make you feel like, oh, I'll never, because when I told my husband the cost of the one that I was in love with, I'm not saying that it's something that I want like right now, but in the back of my mind, I did wish like we were in full on print mode and had a space for that. So it's like we would upgrade to that from something else that we were doing. It definitely wasn't a, hey, I just was working on a Cricut. You know, I got a little speedball screen print kit. You know, I've done a little DT, you know, the little DTF hack. I want to do digital printing. It's definitely not go from Silhouette, Romeo, Cameo, Cricut. It's definitely not, okay, I'm going from here and I'm going to go to this. Definitely not that. And I think that when I set the price, my husband's initial reaction to it was, well, won't be getting that anytime soon. But then my thing was, why not? Like, not saying, no, I think he says, oh, we'll never get that. And then mom like, but why not? Like, you build a business to be able to get those things because it can help your business, right? So when I first saw it, I thought the technology was cool. Then y'all know that was the first day. I was impressed by it. Then I went into it. I went into professor mode and I watched that sucker go around and I'm like, okay, we ain't got one shirt done yet. And I know it's not the same, but going from 30 seconds and it took like 2 minutes to get this shirt done, I was over there like, okay, I'm recording this I was recording, but in my mind, I was like this. Hurry up. How long is this process going to take? And so that kind of like made me think like, I don't want to know how long this takes. I think I would be frustrated with the amount of time that it takes to produce just one. And I would be so antsy, like, oh my God, fudge up. So where I'm like, nah, make my ish, send me my transfers, let me press them in 7. You do the hard work. And that's where I'm kind of getting to in this at. It gave me a different thought process on transfers and doing them yourself. And whether it is DTV, that's a whole nother thing. Oh, can't wait for that. But between DTG, DTF, whether it's screen print transfers, if it is embroidery transfers or patches or rhinestone or whatever it is, it keeps you from that, how long this ish gonna take? Versus getting them and just being able to produce. And my thoughts on this machine literally changed from day to day. So I had the opportunity to look at this machine in action 3 days in a row. First day, mad impressed. Second day, hold up, this don't make no sense. Third day, all right, can y'all tell me which one of your like who do you have? Who have you sold this beast to? Because I need to order from them when I want something. I love the quality, but I would go crazy sitting here waiting for this because it's not full on automatic, because there still has to be somebody that's going to load them shirts and take them shirts off and then put it on the conveyor belt, the conveyor dryer. So I was like, who does this? Because I need them to just do this and send me the product, because this is team too much right here. Be very careful of what you are asking for. I watched companies have to do maintenance on their DTF machine on the showroom floor. It is not just a put an ink cartridge in, print it out, throw some powder, heat set it, heat cure it. It's not that. You can run into some issues. I mean, I sat there and on one of them watching saw where, I mean, you had a nice little run of DTF film, DTF ink. I mean, it hadn't gotten to the powder section, although it still had to go through that. So you're still kind of putting powder on it. and like all of those different things. And it was jacked up, so then they're having to go in there and fix things. Then I went, it was another one to where, you know, it's continuously printing. And I felt so bad for the kid because he seemed a little frazzled where people were talking. I guess like in your shop, if it's just a clothing shop, you're not going to have people in and out like in your face, but they're talking and stuff like that. So then to see him trying to run back there to like feel it, and then he was doing something else. And I'm just like, this is a lot. I don't think I want to have to deal with all of this. I like transfers. Um, you're saving of like you're doing it yourself. You're thinking, okay, yeah, all the money's coming to you, but you're also doing all of the work, and it's going to limit you. This expo just said, like for me, I'm gonna leave that ish to the big dogs, and I'm just gonna order transfers. Like that, this show solidified that for me. I have no interest getting a DTG machine, being able to use it for prototypes or first runs to get an idea before you order certain transfers. A DTG machine is something I still want. All the other stuff, no ma'am, no ham. Y'all get somebody else to do it. I literally kept saying that the whole time. Get somebody else to do it. You can do it. Okay, cool. Transfers is the way to go for you guys that want to grow. And if you can't think, and for you to hear a price tag of $400,000, if that makes you go, whoo, stick to transfers. Stick. I know there's going to be several who have DTF machines and they're going to beg to differ. Oh, it makes me so much money. Is da da da. But talk the real to me. How often are you really frustrated? What is the maintenance like on this? Do what is your fear of the fact that if you have a single machine, if that goes down, how does that affect your business? There's a lot of variables outside of, oh yeah, I just make a lot of money from it. Are you really making as much as you think you are when you really factor in the amount of time that you spend doing all of it and cutting it off and you putting it in the system? Like it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's see. I saw a couple of things here, so I want to address those before I move on. That's great, Shakia, that you found folks that were speaking your language. Yes, it was. Yes, it's true about the ET colors. I didn't notice until I tried to print a true red in design once. Compared to my large format printer, the colors are completely different. There is an ET for 13. Wait, there is an ET for 13 by 19, or at least there was. But that's the thing. You guys just hear these numbers and people will do summation with it, but you're still not going to get accurate colors. Oh, trust me. I know about every single Epson printer there is. And yes, and so that's not a printer though, that is for summation. So when I said there was no 13 by 19 option for Epson, that is a converted printer. Most people like to think because it's an Eco Tank, it is not a conversion. It is a conversion. What's in that box is a different type of ink. It was not intended for it. Technically, you put it in there. Now Epson has got to the point where they're training their people to say, hey, send me a picture, send us this, send me a picture of that thing called the nozzle check, or send me a picture of the front, because they're looking for the fact that you're not using their ink and they're not going to replace it. You don't get any guarantee, like you're not guaranteed to get help and assistance by you putting this other brand of ink in these printers. They are converted. As far as printers that are made for sublimation that are water-based, there is no 13 by 19 option. You run a business and supply what is in demand. Don't feel bad. You are a godsend to those trying to do it on a budget. You have to be versatile. You must also elevate for your own satisfaction. I love knowing how stuff works, but transfer it is for me. My softball team program I coach for stopped using me because they found something cheaper. They did. Wait, they did. The people sublimated on 50/50 shirts. Oh, can't wait to wash it. So, but see, that's different. So if someone's providing a cheaper option, but not on the proper material. That's different. But you have people who are, it's quality for quality, but they're able to provide it at a better rate for people because of how their business is set up. And that is a thing too that I'm going to talk about. I mean, man, the next part of my creative business program is going to be so different. Been studying men influencers, found the transfers and make a lot of sense. We'll be doing it. This was one of the biggest things for me at this expo was the like that thing that was underrepresented. And it's crazy to me that where I feel like it begins at, it begins to me in craft spaces, in your living rooms, in whatever, and this is women driven. This part of it is driven by women, right? And as women, most stay here. That world is driven by men. That was one of the connections that I made, and just talking to them. And then it was kind of interesting because when he went back to the other because I was just trying to ask one little question, and so it turned into like this other stuff. And then he went and he was like, oh wow, that just threw me off because that's what I've been, he has a lot of influencers that are all men. And he had been looking and he had been wanting someone who can do it to the level that they're doing that on, but be female, because it wasn't an area that was tapped into, because I feel like we tend to stick to this whole crafting thing. And although I'm not opposed to the word, I mean, I craft. Like that's what I do for leisure. For me, the word craft is associated with leisure. And I always say creative business owners and and creative business, but that still wasn't enough to even put me on the radar for a lot of these companies where how much money I spend out. I'm always saying like, dang it, why all the guys getting all this? They're getting all this free stuff, sponsorships, we're just not on their radar because they weren't checking for folk on this craft level. So someone asked me about why am I starting a new YouTube channels, but this is why, because I need to separate, and they say like church and state, I got to separate the craft from the professional. Like I really, 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 really have to. And that was one of the things, like just the representation of women when you're going to some of these booths. And it's like, I mean, the ones for like apparel and stuff like that. Just like the big, I just felt like it was a shift for me, as far as just representation in that. My core industry as of now, which is summation, because we have an amazing product, which, by the way, pause, sidebar. If you would like to try, and well, I guess commercial break, as Eric would say from the blank spot. If you would like to try out Honestly Speaking products or any of our classes, now would be a great time to visit our website, shop.hs8365.com, until 11:59 p.m. this evening. Our entire site is discounted, so just go on there, put it in your cart. You don't have to put anything in. All because y'all know I am a Miami girl through and through, and basketball made it to the Final Four for the first time. So your girl is super excited. So, in celebration of basketball making it to the Final Four, we have a discount code on the website. So whether it is a class or any of our Honestly Speaking products, visit our website today. If you're watching the playback of this and it is not March 27th, 2023, it won't work for you. But if you are watching today, all up until 11:59, head over to the website and check out our Honestly Speaking products, classes, digital files. It is a minimum $20 purchase in order for that discount to apply. 20, 24, 20. Because the 8.5 by 14 paper is 2030. So if you just want 8.5 by 11, you ain't able to get a discount. Go ahead and order that 8.5 by 14. So I want to say it's $20 is the minimum purchase, and you'll get 24% off of the website for the next Well, it's been up there for 24 hours until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so now back to our regular schedule programming. But sublimation to me wasn't represented. Some people said that before there were several sublimation vendors there and they were doing like live demos. That's something that's really motivating me to where when I'm in Atlantic City next year to be on that floor. God willing, because I heard the price is kind of a lot. I've already thought about how I'm going to work smarter, not harder, in getting certain things there. But yeah, sublimation to me just wasn't represented. And then when I was looking, y'all know for me, I love sublimation, but I'm more of a small and I'm more of a hard substrate because there's so many different ways to do garment decorating, which this show showed. And JES was there and they have hard substrates, but that was the only one. And then I realized, did not realize it. This is an apparel driven expo. Because somebody else was there a couple that we met, we hung out with Thursday and Friday night, we hung out with them. They were looking for more like, suppliers and stuff for like lanyards and like, it's just different things to heat apply designs too, but not necessarily full on apparel. That wasn't represented. But then when I read their site bio, I was like, okay, they're more into like the garment decorating industry. And that's not really what, those things represent. There were still some people there, like when it came to like the laser stuff, there were really big laser machine stuff that was there that was engraved into a bat. I didn't realize it can go that deep. And they had like leather and stuff, but it wasn't necessarily for apparel. So there were some vendors that were not apparel specific. They're very smart in doing that because everything else, so they stood out because they were not apparel specific. So that was pretty cool to kind of see them. And who else? But yeah, sublimation just wasn't, and just hard substrates for business, it just wasn't represented there. This is apparel driven. A lot of vendors for shirts and hoodies, different technologies. We ran into this one company and people like the moisture wicking properties of polyester, but don't like the front. They want more of a cotton feel. They had these shirts that were cotton on the outside and it was basically moisture wicking on the inside. So the liner was polyester and then the outside was cotton. Then they had this other one where it was cotton. It was like basically like an Oreo. It was cotton, polyester in the middle for the moisture wicking, and then cotton on the outside. It's like, what the heck? So seeing the technology and like the advances of different clothing and the different price points on them, right? So we're always here in the craft industry. Oh, where can I find the cheapest shirt? And it's about quality. Like when you're seeing the examples of what they do and like, their booklets and they're telling you who their products and who their services are used by. And it's like, don't get me wrong. I understand Joe Schmo down the street needs a birthday shirt, but Joe Schmo down the street also be penny pinching. So to know that you can either like create for brands and knowing about these to where you are able to speak to a brand and like they're trying to figure out what to go. Most brands don't manufacture their shirts. They are decorating like stalls. One of the things that they were showing, it was Adidas. Like when they were calling off the major brands that uses their technology, their transfers. And I was like, oh, really? Are we thinking small? What is the mindset shift to now think about what is it that you have to do to get to these bigger companies? And then to know that they're doing work with these bigger companies, not full on screen printing, or it's through transfers. My mind was absolutely blown. I just have a different outlook. My mindset about a lot of stuff has changed because of this. It's a lot. I didn't realize I was at an hour and 14 minutes, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if you guys felt it was helpful, but like I said, that's I'm going to break this up into different parts. But as far as just like my first thoughts, I mean, it was an amazing experience. It is definitely a separation of craft and pro. Um, you'll have a lot of ideas and I mean, just talking to people where they came there wanting, like, trying to make a decision. I feel like there was no bridge between where you start and then to start to think about the things that are at this expo. Where's the bridge? That was one of the things that was under, like, it just, it was like almost like just throwing creatives and crap. Like it's a great experience. Don't get me wrong. I feel like if you're in a city anywhere near there, it will definitely help you. If you feel like you're stuck and you can't, people always talk about mindset shifts. If you feel like you can't do that mindset shift, oh my God, why gotta tell me my lips had that got that dry. If you feel like people keep saying it and you're just stuck, like you're afraid to, go into something like this makes it really easy to do that mindset shift. It really, really does, because you get a glimpse into what could be. That there's so much more out there than just printing to a desktop Epson printer, Canon printer, HP printer, for, not, of course, not for that, because, you can do DTV on those printers. It's so much more than just a cutting machine, whether it's a Silhouette Cameo, a Cricut, a Solo Starcraft, a Caesar Juliet or Romeo, hell, even a Roland. There's so much more to it. That wasn't there at all. There was no one that, even though it's heat applied, not showing the eco solvent. On the craft side, this eco solvent is just all the rage, right? So to go there, and there was no representation of like Roland at all for any of this. I know that I was told that Princeton United, they will be there, because it's also like the banners and stuff. That's why I want to go to that one, because I'm into eco solvent, not for shirts at all. I'm into eco solvent for banners, printing to vinyl and things like that. It also let me know that I have to attend more of these. One show isn't going to fit all of your needs, which brings me to one method may or may not fit all of the needs of your customers, but you are not going to be able to house all of these things. Your mindset is not there when it comes to like the business part of it. There's a very big difference in the business of this and you just kind of creating the items. And if you can't shift your mindset about how you price, I'm hoping that everyone that attended my Pricing by the Profit, or if you go and you, with that discount that's there, you purchase access to the playback of it, that your mindset shifts about how you price. Because if you don't, you're going to walk into these expos, you're going to see the price points for them, and you're going to feel like you can never attain it because you're not confident in how you are pricing. Not knowing that getting to that level can help you if you want to kind of still deal with community help and doing stuff on this level. You can have those big machines and be able to take care of your contracted accounts as well as these contract accounts also now on the forefront of things. So yeah. All right, so hold on. Let me go over here. DTF needs certain temperatures too. There's a lot of work, but in my opinion, worth it. In my opinion, it's worth it to use DTF. Is it worth it for me, for everyone and their mama to be trying to get a DTF machine or to convert one? I really feel like it is not. You're going to spend, you guys are limited on time. The Ink Zone is the new channel. So the Ink Zone. So I did it for our anniversary, and that was just a Facebook group, but I have now done a YouTube channel for comments like that, right? When is it worth it? How to determine if it's worth it for you to convert one versus just kind of going through. And even if you eventually get one, is it going to be sustainable for you? So we're going to talk about all of that, because when someone says, it's worth it, what part of it is worth it for you? Like, really breaking down. And I have a couple people that I want to bring on, I want to interview, who's been doing it for a while. But I told them, like, my one requirement is you can't sugarcoat it. My audience likes to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. My studies on the DTF machines, don't do it unless you can afford to babysit and maintain the darn thing. No way. Um, it definitely was nice to meet you as well. Um, I stay away from EcoTank printers because of you. I know it's not the same, but I have workforce printers. Incredible morning. Yes, ma'am. I have a true sub printer myself. I hated the conversion, and my business was too much for conversions. I only used a conversion for 2 months when I started. This conference only confirmed why I never wanted to get into these DTF machines. I will stick to transfers. Exactly. Brother Ernest is selling a 24-inch printer. Okay, I don't want to. That has nothing to do with me. I totally agree. I'm amazed they need to do their own advertising. Then I'm amazed how they are killing it. That's you, Professor. This is off topic, but I need help. Epsom Force. Okay. Yeah, definitely not here. Can't even answer that one. And I have seen women love design and creativity. The guys are in business and focused. Yes, they are. Oh. I will definitely put the link in there. You got this, claim it. You will be there. Send a message to the chat. So glad to hear this. You can tell the difference between screen printing and transfers. Even Nike has a lot of products as well with transfers. Yep. I went looking for higher end apparel and the items to help me be more productive and take my business to the next level. I felt that was accomplished for my business. Now, rhinestone side of things were not represented at all, but I made the connections I needed to. Yes. I mean, it definitely is really big for, I mean, the different type, like just we think some people think a shirt is a shirt. And it kind of like funny because I made that post on Facebook before. This is just an Oreo. This is not, it was for my, it was for my cousin from Bella Dulce Delights. But someone said, I'm gonna do that for shirts. Like, this is just a shirt. This is not. Even with nothing on it whatsoever, there was a big difference between shirt A to shirt Z. Like, I saw some stuff and I was just like, oh wow. I looked at like varsity jackets, and it's so many times like, oh, where can I find this like a cheap one? And I'm looking at the quality of some of these things, and I'm just like, you get what you pay for. Just like really being able to see all at one time the differences in qualities of hoodies and what some companies like. You go one booth and they'll say it's a certain ounce, like it's a certain weight, and you go and you're able to feel like, okay, wait, let's go back to this booth again. Wait, no, that's something different in that. And you're really able to feel the quality of garments and know that they are not, we can say that all day long, but to be able to go and actually feel it, they have all these different examples of them and you can feel it in real time. It's like, okay, see, this why the price is the price. And see, I'm going to use this for like if you're building a brand, not skimping on the quality of the shirts that you use. Baby shower shirt, birthday shirt, kind of different. But when you are building a brand and it's like it's the same design, it's not all these, the garment that you choose matters. And they're not all created equal in any way, shape, or form. The number of options can be overwhelming. When you're going into it, people can give you all the recommendations in the world, but you're going to have a business plan. And within that business plan, you're going to have that research money built into this plan and a budget for it to where you are ordering different garments that will never see the light of retail. Like, you're not going to make actual money off of it, but you're going to get all of these different options, and you're going to have to order them. It's not going to just be given to you for free. You're going to have to order them to find out what's going to be best for your brand. Mindset shift just took a whole new meaning going to this event. Yes, having a clothing brand, a shirt is not just a shirt in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, like I said, I am going to have more discussions about, wait, let me get the link for you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get the link. So it is. Wait. Oh, duh. I can just go over here. It's mine. Duh, Shakia, switch accounts. The Ink Zone. Oh, it's 68 subscribers over there already. Thank you guys so very much for subscribing. Um, your channel. There we go. Uh, oh, I think I went to the wrong one. Hold on. Close. I'm trying to get the. This isn't the one I want. I want it to where it has the Ink Zone on the back. I mean, if you type in all together on YouTube at the Ink Zone, it should come out. It should come up the Ink Zone. Okay, why are you not coming up? Okay, search at the Ink Zone. So that comes up that way. Does it? I know I just did the link, but I did it from my phone, so it's a little bit different. Not Think Zone, Ink Zone. I'm glad I'm actually looking for this to put it on there because it's not coming up just immediately. Once I start doing videos and putting it in the titles and I start to index it, it should start to come up. So I'm going to probably do, yeah, what the heck? Yeah, see, my Ink Zone for last month for the group came up, but it's not that one that I want you guys to go to. All right. Settings. Add or manage your channels. Somebody found it because somebody just subscribed to it. I'm just gonna put the channel name, like I'm just gonna put it the way it comes up here. It doesn't have, and I don't know if you're still gonna be able to click on it. Oh, you know what I can do? Duh, I'm logged in right now. Let's go to my live video. And I'm gonna comment on it from my live video. So live. And I probably need to also make it a mod. Hello, peeps. All right. That way, now you guys should be able, I don't know if you can click on it, how that works, but if you can click on it, you can click on it from there. And then let me go to the Sillaholics Anonymous one. See, I just type those in, it just comes up. I got to make sure that, I do just as much the same, I can just type it in, it comes up. Got to have the Ink Zone that way as well. All right, so let's go. Hello, peeps. Be sure to subscribe. There we go. Hello. You will have your booth. God gave you the vision and he's going to guide you into it as well. Oh, thank you. I love that you enjoyed it and came back to share your experience with us. You're the best for real. Thank you, love. I don't think I missed anything else up here. If I missed your question, you posted something, please let me know and I'll go back. Well, and I'll answer it for you. Okay. All right. I've been on for way too long. Any specific, I said it before. If you guys have any specific questions for me, let me know. Put it in the chat because even if I don't get a chance to answer it now, like I said, I'm going to end up having quite a few discussions about this. I just kind of wanted to just kind of talk about my first thoughts, first impressions, and just, quick review of my experience at the expo. I will open the floor for a few questions if you have them. If not, we're going to wrap it all up. See, an hour and a half. TikTok just told me I've been on here for an hour and a half. So the ink zone. Yes. See, that's what you have to put. Yes, at the ink zone. Correct. I did love that several of the reps did say that I could contact them to get samples sent to me. I love that aspect. Yep. Any questions? Been an hour and a half. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? You don't need one. Just go to our website. When you place your order, it's going to automatically apply the discount. So no discount code from you guys is needed. It's an automatic. Just go to the website today in honor of making it to the Final Four. I know the people who I was with thought I was crazy. We were trying to leave. I had them out to I don't know how late because they were ready to go back to the main hotel. And I was like, no, actually, no, that wasn't the game. I watched the game. Where were we at when I watched the game? I think it was about, I was like, we got to hurry up and go. We were about to leave Kelsey's. No, I was watching UCLA and Gonzaga. And I was like, yo, I'm not going nowhere. I need to see this. But my Canes, the ladies fell a little short last night, but it's okay. Hey, the fact they even made it to Elite Eight is absolutely amazing. So definitely congratulations to them. But the boys made it to the Final Four. So in honor of that, there is a discount on the site. On your receipt, you will see that it's for the Final Four, but just go to the website. Any orders over $20 will receive that discount. Okay, today only. So I do have an ink zone on Facebook, but that is not a public open one. That one was that one was connected to our Inkiversary, and that one is a paid, like it was paid access to that. So the Facebook group is not the same in any way, shape, or form. So where I will be providing free content on basically press on demand transfers and stuff like that is going to be within the ink zone on YouTube. So I do technically have a Facebook group, but it is not one that you'll be able to get access to. It is on our entire site. So once you go on there, the entire site is discounted, which technically the active classes is not supposed to be, which I'll probably go in there because I think I can do it. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to do that now because technically, because I did the entire site, but technically current classes are not supposed, well, yeah, it won't even let me limit it. Ooh. Yeah, that's the part that kind of sucks. So if you wanted to take the classes active now, you'll end up getting a discount on it because it won't let me, like all the other discounts, you can exclude certain things or just put it for certain things. I didn't go through all that. I just put automatic discount, and it's for everything. So even our current ones are discounted right now. So the entire site in honor of basketball making history for the school and making it to the Final Four. Y'all know I love my Miami sports. So no questions about Expo or anything like that. I will talk to you guys later. I have so much work to catch up on. If you are in the student union or the Ink Zone, the Facebook one, I will be live there very shortly. because on the business side of things, I had to deal with something customer service related, which everybody else, y'all might hear about it if people get froggy and leap, but just to kind of teach you guys about customer service, and the customer's not always right. It's going to be hard to please people. No matter what you do, they're going to try and see fault and try to make you out to be the bad guy. We're going to have that discussion today, as well as in the creative business program tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. It's going to be kind of an open forum this evening. Okay. So yeah. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.